Alright, so I finished everything that I wanted to get done this weekend, except for setting the suspension. I'll have to do that another weekend. But I got the skid plate, the luggage rack, the hand guards. I ended up having to swap the bars. That's a whole nother story I'll tell later. But I would recommend just buying new bars instead of trying to make stock bars work. But it's all ready to go. And I am about to head out to the trail. So I got to figure out how to load this bike into that truck. So this was my first time loading a bike into a truck. It was a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. It was just putting the ramp on, strap it down to my tow hitch, and roll it on up. I did use the bike's power to get it up there. I wouldn't want to do it without having the bike in gear and having power. Then I got to Richloam and went for my ride. I decided that first little pull-off was the place to go. Everything was going pretty well, just riding along. Sitting mostly comfortable. Once it started to get a little tricky, I decided I would stand up, and that's going to take some getting used to. And that's why I fell. So that was my first fall on my new bike, about 2 miles into this first ride off-road. Picked the bike up, dusted myself off, dusted the bike off, and got back to it. So we've been in a drought for probably a couple months at this point, and it was really dry. Didn't find very much mud, but when I did find mud, it kind of got bad. So this was me, about 4 miles in, stuck up to my axle. Luckily I was able to just put my feet down, take the weight off the rear, and ride it out. Stopped on the road, took a little break, caught my breath, because that's work. And got back to riding, went to look for a new trail. So this started out good, but it turned out to be my first real experience with some sugar sand. And sugar sand is a whole nother animal. So it was kicking my butt pretty bad. The lesson that I learned in sugar sand is while your brain tells you you want to sit down and slow down, everything that you really need to do is stand up and speed up. Put gas to it and your front end will start to float across the top. I was pretty tired of fighting through sugar sand, so I just went to ride just some hard-packed dirt roads for a while. Then I saw some piggies. Rode on through for a while till I saw a street, and then I turned around and headed back to the dirt. Once I made it back to the fire tower, I parked. I figured that was enough for the day. Loaded up the truck, checked out the general store. Alright, I'm at the fire tower in Richloam. Took my first spill on a little 2-track mud run. So that was fun. And then I almost got stuck in something that was almost to my axles. And sugar sand is a whole nother animal. So definitely easier to ride faster standing up than slower sitting down, which is the opposite of what my body wants to do. But that was a lot of fun and a hard workout. Time for lunch. If you've ever been to the Richloam Fire Tower, then you've found the general store. What a cool little place. It's a neat shop with traditional candies and all sorts of stuff in there. Check it out. Alright, I made it home. Bike is very dirty. I need to give it a quick hose down. I don't think I'll do a full wash, but at least get the mud off the plate and the turn signals so it's legal. And then air my tires back up and park it, and then hose myself off because, man, it's hot. It's been a long 3 days, but it's been nice. Worked hard, played hard. Now it's time for some rest.